Welcome back everybody. Looks like it was my side. Damn it, the cap's always missing that one. Yeah, my side decided to crash out. Someone cut the hard line. Just doing cleanups. Don't forget we've got all this ugly side over here to deal with. Which is always fun because you're right next to the PCH. I think that's fine there, but certainly as a precaution, it's always good to replace that cap. I might change this crystal, or... yeah, crystal can stay. Oh, well, by the way, the SMC fitted just fine. Yep, no problems with the SMC. Like I said, we're just doing cleanup process now. Let's see. Instant green light comes up, an amp on the on the power supply. So yeah, this thing's pretty good. I don't know if it was CPU blink though. It may still have troubles with that clock 32 kilohertz line, so it may not actually blink. And that is likely what's happening right now. See, it's not giving us the green blink. So while we have resolved the initial what do you call it, short on the 342, we don't yet have a living machine. And that probably comes down to this sort of stuff here. Just shielding off the PCH a little bit. Like I said, it's not super essential, but I do like to protect what I can. Particularly when you're blowing air in from the bottom edge up towards the PCH. That actually came off real quick and easy. Almost too easy. It could be a dead PC. John. It could be a dead RAM slot. That's entirely possible. Though fortunately, it's only typically one, as opposed to both. Oh, lucky me, that cap's actually present on here. It's very rare for that cap to be around. Normally this cap here is stolen off every single board. You can see the crystal's already been stolen. Steve, I think we can both agree that the severity of the corrosion ugliness on this one is such that if I was to... Oh, this catches me out still. With the Atom, as soon as I put it back into the holster, of course it commences its cooldown process. Whereas I'm thinking I can pull it straight out and it warms back up. So the Atom and I haven't quite yet synchronized. We're getting there, we're getting there. As at least we've got 342 back. We have our one wire active. I gotta admit, I didn't check to see if PP bus was actually 1256 or anything like that. I just assumed the SMC would be okay. It could actually be still a dead SMC. It just happens to not be dead on that particular section used for the one wire. Slightly different current this time. Could be just because the board's warm. Hey Raz. And I keep turning away and not bothering to check to see if there's any activity. Anyway. 1256, so SMC is all good. That's, you know, a good start. But yeah, we don't have a green blink at this point. Gecko thinks that's amusing. We'll see if we get our 32 kilohertz. I'm going to have to use a microscope for this because I cannot pick the pin on that clock chip for the output. Looks like it's top right. Oh, CPU's getting very hot. So we do have 32 kilohertz. Ah, you can't see that. Damn it. Still can't see it. There, you can see the 32 kilohertz there. Alright, it is actually quite warm, so that's interesting. Okay, I just saw it change to 200 milliamp then. That was interesting. Okay, we might have a dead RAM slot. That's all. Not dead RAM slot, dead USB port. Because as you can see, that one's blinking. So why doesn't this one blink? The board of multiple faults. Definitely not getting a blink there. Okay, if we have a problem where one port is showing power but no data, it's often the little twin inductor pack. If it gets dropped or anything like that, they crack. And when they crack, it's not always visible. I'm pretty sure it's that inductor pack pair in the middle there. I'll just double check that. And me. So J4700. Could also be the mux. But we are getting power, so often it's this L4700, which, yeah, is, yep, that is what I thought it was. Okay, so what we can do is we'll just touch up either side of that inductor pack, and usually if they've been fractured, when you touch them up with the soldering iron, they'll completely just break apart, usually. But I suspect it's going to make it more difficult for us tonight. And no break apart. No breaky breaky? Okay, no breaky breaky. Alright, so we do have this other part here. And that might be the mux. I'm not sure. Ah. What are you? Oh, you're a you're a... My bad. It's actually a diode protection pack. Alright, so what we'll do is we'll measure the diode values and see if those data lines are looking particularly weird. We're getting bad lag again, are we? Such is life. I better take the chipmunk out as it will influence the values. Okay, so we've got this one here, 0.49. This one here, 0.49, so that's even on the other side. 0.49, 0.49, so they're all even. And we'll check the same on this one now too. 0.55, 0.55, 0.55. Okay, so there is a moderate difference between the two sides. However, that is probably explainable due to the fact that, let's see, the front port has got a, sorry, the back port's got a mux on it. So we've got this USB mux here. Oh, you mongrel, you're right there. Hey, John Lockhart. Of course, the other thing I really should check is the port clear itself, physically. Seems okay. What about fatigue? Ah, you can't see. Sorry, folks. Alright. Well, I'm going to check this U2760 now. Yeah, quad view is probably a good choice. Yeah, that is this chip here. This is a little Mux chip. Can't see a lot wrong with it. I could replace it. That would be the simplest thing. But I'm not overly keen on replacing things that look perfectly okay. At least not without conclusively showing that there is a fault. I mean, it could easily enough be... yeah, the diode pack. Actually, not so much. Choices. The other problem is, of course, that Mux is right next to the PCH. Barry West says there's no reason to infrared it because we don't have a short on it anymore. We've already solved the short. That was in the SMC. This is not a short issue. This is a signal issue. I think what I'll do is first check that I'm actually getting power and things like that to this chip. It's booting, so that's good. And voltage mode. Okay, power should be 3v3, so we do have 3v3 volts there, so it's good. Who are you squinting at? All of you. That's all. I just can't think of a good reason why the Mux would be dead, that's all. Okay, we can check to see if maybe we have a... it's unlikely though. Isn't it? The fact that they're balanced, they're 0.47 on both D plus, D minus, doesn't tend to make me think that there's a problem with one of the lines corroded out. Hey Ainsley, yes, it's 1:30 in the morning here for me. We don't believe in daylight savings, it's a load of trash. So we get to have normal hours here. Okay, what I might do is go over here, clean up other really trashy bits and pieces. And sometimes, like with source code and programming, sometimes when you go along and you clean up all your compiler messages, your warnings and things like that, you inadvertently end up fixing the fault that you weren't able to find before. I'm not saying that is going to happen in this particular instance, but I think I'll take this heatsink off, clean up the other corroded areas, and we don't, who knows, maybe it may just resolve that USB port issue. We have to do the cleanup regardless, so we'll do that first. And what a mess it is. Yes, Travis, I did. I've actually left comment on there. Alright, so I mean, yeah, there's some colossally bad caps there. I mean, look at that. Let's have a look at what areas those caps look after. So we'll go to the quad display. I'm amazed. Yeah, that's the supervisor circuitry. Okay, so that's part of the same thing. And then we've got this one down here, SMC manual reset. Amazing, the SMC is coming up. And then we have this here. That probably doesn't cause any dramas simply because it's overridden by so many other caps. There's a really nasty looking thing down here. Again, AV ref. So far these are, yeah, not really USB related. I'd be surprised if they were, given their position relative to the rest of the board. But they're probably going to mess up the SMC at some point. Okay, let's get them fixed up. Give me a few of them. Try real hard to avoid heating up the PCH, which is just over there. So we'll try to get as much as we can done in one swoop. And you're gone, you're gone. I can tolerate the rest. Hey Warren. Hey Catherine, how you been? Oh, that's good quality donor for this section. That's nice. So I take it the consensus on the polarized filter is that we're all good. I'm pretty happy with it. It seems to be okay at least. Oh, we've got a problem there. That pad is not taking. No, nine. I love it when the soldering iron decides to take your little component hostage. And Nick, I haven't seen Australian Jim around tonight. It's not like him. Hope he's okay. I'm probably on a bit late for him, to be honest. So we're just going through the drudgery of picking off these caps and moving them to the new board, to the board that we're repairing, rather. I did see on the Vince repair video that he was using the flexboard view that I sent him, so I was happy about that. Sure hope that button on this Atom hot air wand doesn't wear out. Maybe they should make it a foot switch. Crikey, look at the mess in that. It's like a cluster of horror. I really hope that it's not the PCH that's damaged with regards to that USB port not working. That'll make me somewhat upset. Oh, I forgot about this one up here. Hey, iMicrofix, thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. Did you get it all working and everything and up and running with it? Get your board views? Did you get the latest version of the 1410 or whatever it is, I think? Oh, you can change that new set. Okay, cool. I will definitely have to change that because when doing this sort of thing, it's rather irritating to have to keep pressing that button. I guess I'll have to read the destructions. Woe is my life for having to read instructions. I don't believe in instructions. Ask anyone who's bought my software. It's like if you can't work it out, then maybe it needs to be redesigned. It's not the best philosophy, believe me. It's a bit of a simpleton philosophy. But it's one that allows you to be a little bit on the lazy side. Got it all working so much better to search components through the PDF sheets. Oh yes, certainly. It's a huge time saver for that. And the biggest thing that I use a lot is the part find feature. There is a couple of updates that I've got coming out for the part find feature. There's a few hiccups in the way it handles its logic for some situations, but I use the part find feature almost every day, or definitely every day in fact. I'm going to run continuity and make sure I have got continuity between the mux and the actual port. Okay, that's good. Gonna guess this one here will be the other side. Yeah, can't complain about that. We've got continuity. Hey Travis, not my problem, not my fault. You've got to be the responsible adult in your life. Can't make me the scapegoat. Not today. Anissa cat. I'm trying to be a more responsible person myself, so I'm having to just hand it out as I encounter it. The other possibility is that there's a problem in the connector itself. Very unlikely. Hey, Micromage. Warrant stamps on the house. I finally installed the lock for the front big glass door. That was an exercise of a lot of abuse with a bastard file against aluminium. And I painted a back laundry door with, well, I didn't paint it, to be honest. I hung the back laundry door and a leader painted it. We're not making a huge amount of progress, unfortunately. Part of that's because we're just sort of waiting around. Well, that's just it. We're waiting around, trying to gauge which way things are going to go with regards to other properties. I really don't want to replace things I don't have to. The second land that we were looking at, we're still, I suppose you could say, trying to determine. There's just a lot of things up in the air, and I really need to sort out the separation of the wildling cats, our cats, and then the stray cats. So we've got 3 tiers of cats here. So ours, which obviously are ours, Milo, Micro, Luna, Lulu, all those. And then we've got the wildlings, the foster care cats, which we would like to stay on the property, but yeah, they don't come into the house, and their area we like to keep segregated from our cats. And then you have the strays, and at this point we've only got 1 stray, but oh my goodness, he's a real troublemaker, and he causes the wildlings, or he picks on one of the wildlings, which causes the wildlings then jump into our property, our inner sanctum, and that causes its own problems. So yeah, it's but the trouble is to enforce or to create a barrier that will inhibit or keep these isolations is actually quite a lot of work, and yeah, it's pretty hard. Steve K, well, that's if you've got silly daylight savings, yes. God damn it. Why give me blinky blinky? Much frustrating. You give me blinky in another port, why no blinky in this port? It could still be a dud inductor pack. That is entirely possible. It wouldn't be the first time. Let's see. Alright, well, guess I'll try to replace the mucks. Like I said, not really my philosophy, but we'll try it. Barry already did check. That was about 20 minutes ago I did that check. Starting to think Barry doesn't pay attention. Or Barry gets distracted with his real world jobs. Come on, man, I can smell the PCH burning. Let's get on with it. Oh, there's my flesh burning, I'm not sure. PCH says, it's okay, I'm still alive. Just. The other possibility is that, which I should have checked, there is the select line to pick which input on the mux to use. That could be bugged. So I should have checked that before I reefed that thing off, but oh well, it's done now. And sadly this mux looks not as pretty. Queensland doesn't have daylight savings because it is a ludicrous concept in the first place. And to be fair, we have trialled it a couple of times and we've said no each time. I would not say that Queensland in itself is advanced for not having daylight savings. It is purely by accident that we happen to utilise the more intelligent option. I think the rest of the country needs to, well, the rest of the world really just needs to drop daylight savings. It's an antiquated system. Especially now that everybody has, custom work hours. Yeah, we're not doing 9 to 5 anymore so much. Hey Sinclair Research, how you going? You gotta realise, if we have daylight savings up here, it would be around about 9:30, almost 10 o'clock before the sun fully sets. We are quite westward relative to the southeast corner of the state. I think if Brisbaneites so desperately want daylight savings, then they can have it. They should just change business hours. I mean, that's the whole thing. It's like, why change the clock when you can simply state that you have summer and winter hours? Alrighty, let's try this. Yeah, Noosakat, that's the other thing. Yeah, I mean, farmers are going to rise. Yeah, the cattle will rise. Everything is just by the sun. I'm not saying it's explicitly right simply because of that, but let's see, did I bugger everything up? I certainly have. Well, that or the cap that was magnetised on there. Ah! No. It's this one that's faulty, right? Yes. Okay. I was going to say for a second then I thought we fixed it. And I was genuinely shocked. Alright. We're in the blind replace repair mode at this point, so what I'm going to do now is replace the diode pack and the filter pack. We'll start with the diode pack, given that it is the most common thing to fail. Now, just gonna hope I don't melt the back of these. Diode pack's also the easiest thing to remove. Not the diode pack, I mean the filter pack. Yep, someone forgot to turn on the air filter. So if it's not the diode pack or the filter pack, then it may be that the mux select line is stuck, or it may be that the PCH is fire trucked. In which case everything that we've done is pretty much a waste, and I could have just used a pre-existing board to replace the clients and then change the serial number. Jessica Ryan, you're talking about the Chipmunk. Yeah, it's a handy little device. It's handy because I just did a bad thing. It's handy because it shows you that you have power in the port, and then it shows you if that power is actually steady at 5 volts, and then it shows you whether you've got data activity on it. You can use something like a mouse or a USB stick to do similar enough. Okay, what is going on here? It is not taking solder on the other side for some reason. Okay. I'll tell you why. Because that one is fractured. It's funny, the one I took to be the donor actually is fractured. Yeah, you can see that clump there. I thought it was just it's actually this clump here. I thought it was just excess solder, but you can see what I mean. See how that is actually part of the ferrite block there, and that is why it was not soldering down. And you can see where it's broken that corner off, and that is a very classic type of failure on those ferrites, and that is kind of what I was hoping for, but unfortunately that happened on the donor, not on the recipient. Usually it happens from physical impact, like if someone drops the board and happens to have a USB stick in it or something like that. And the thing is, visually, when you're looking at it, you can't tell. It's not until you actually try to move it that it breaks apart. But certainly if you do have an intermittent port on one of these machines, and it's just that port that's intermittent, or even if they're both intermittent, go check the filter pack, because it's not unusual. Nah, still nothing. Yeah, son of a gun. Okay, we'll replace the diode protection pack. Do note, this is actually for the USB 2 side, well, yeah, the low speed USB as it were. This is not the USB 3 side, but the Chipmunk, as far as I'm aware, does not work on the USB 3 anyway. I could be wrong. As far as I know, it's just USB 2. Come on, man, break loose. Break free. Ah, you little mangy such and such. I was trying to avoid having to hot air that off. No, I didn't make the chipmunk. A chap called Harold over in the Netherlands makes them. Netherlands? Anyway, Harold makes them. He does a good job. Some people find them a little bit expensive, but I think for the amount of time they save, they're well worth it. It's like so many things in life, it's a trade-off. Wait, have I been... Wait, what? Where did you come from, board? Oh, I understand now. It's okay. Don't mind me. It's a bit like with Flexboard View. Yeah, you could use Open Board View. It's free. Or if you're doing it commercially and you want to save some time, then you've got Flexboard View. And I continue to get ticked off with people who yeah, they say, oh, you know, I just want to use it for hobby or whatever. No, I just want the extra features of Flexboard View. Can you give me a discount? It's like, nope. So you've got Open Board View right there. And if you're doing it as a hobby, it's not going to matter that it takes you a couple of extra minutes to do the searching and things like that. If it matters to you that much, then buy Flexboard View and make the time saving. I'm not going to give out discounts because of hobby use. That's not how it works. I already put in the years of work to make Open Board View, bring it up to where it is. I find it a bit insulting when people just sort of cast that aside and go, it's like, we don't want that. So, well, it's that or you pay for commercial version of software. It's your choice. I'm not going to pander to your laziness. I've got to pander to my own. So pay me money so I don't have to work. I mean, by all means, if you're a hobbyist and you buy Flexboard View, thank you. I greatly appreciate that. But yeah, when people seem to think that because they're only using it for hobby use, they should get a discount. It's like, no, it doesn't work like that. It's like, you don't buy a fancy sports car and ask for a discount price because you're only going to keep it in the garage. Hey, Rilla, welcome. Okay, so it's not the diode pack, it's not the filter pack. We're starting to run a little low on options here, and I really, really hope it's not the port. But then I also really, really hope it's not the what do you call it? Not the PCH. Tough call, tough call. And we've got continuity all the way through both the packs, so it's not that. So now I'm going to have to swivel back to looking at maybe the Mux selector line. Okay, so yeah, this is maybe where our problem's lying. Let's see. No, Nusacat, I think Open Board View is... I prefer to keep Open Board View and Flexboard View separate in terms of marketing, because they are separate. Especially these days. I forked off flex board view, what is it, three years ago now, so it's definitely, there's no comparison. And plus, other people putting their work into open board view these days, so I've sort of stepped back a fair bit. I'll drop in the occasional file format when I can, but yeah. Alright, so let's see. So everything's coming from the damned PCH. Put up to 3v3 sus. So let's see. Interesting, there's something on the other side. Ah, it's a test point. Let's have a look at the test point, see if it's maybe damaged. Ow. Quad view. Hey Pedro, what the hell are you doing awake? You scamming scum. The bucket of scum has arrived on the channel and his name's Pedro. Scamming his way through ACT. Also, he repairs MacBooks. Yeah, I mean there's like grungy looking parts there on that divider set here and there, but it doesn't really have anything to do with the PCH. Or the USB for that matter. Yeah, try not to change the ports on these things, because invariably when you change one port, it stuffs up, it melts another port. Yeah, it gets out of hand. Okay, what's this R1854? Let us pray that there's a problem with R1584. Doesn't really look like there's a problem with R1584. Bugger. So by default it's a pull-up. Hey Wes, hey JCT, how's it going? Yeah, there's all this scum here, but again, it's not going to be causing the problems that we're seeing. Worst case scenario, I suppose I can always just say to the person, look, you can charge on that port, but you're not going to have any luck getting data out on it. And the other thing is USB 3 might work. I suppose that's what I should check, see if USB 3 works, but that means assembling the whole damn thing into the chassis. I ain't got time for that tonight. That was weird. That took a little longer than it should have to start up. That makes me have my concerns. Okay, so we've got the common bus here. 3.3. 3.3, so that's right. That's the other thing. I should actually be able to force it anyway. Like, say the PCH was doing a dodgy job in selecting it, then I should be able to force it regardless. Yeah, let's see what pin 10 says it is. It's always awkward getting these. So we've got 3.3, so it is being pulled up. Pull up to 3v3 sus and PH. Select pin is leakage safe. So at the moment it should be using XHCI. Which means these. So it's just these balls here. So those two there. Microfix of 1278 board and power. Fans spin up fastest, but don't get a bong or nothing. Check your RTC 3v3 output, your clock. Check you got 32 kilohertz. Those are the first two things I would look at. Do you get 1256 for your PP bus? So the balls of interest are just in here. Just in here. So maybe an ultrasonic might bring it to life. Hard to tell if there's any corrosion on it. It doesn't really look like there is. I'll be very surprised if the port got damaged, as in on the PCH side. There's a little bit of corrosion in this one, but it's this one here that's faulty. Oh, you're not even USB 3, you're just USB. There could be junk under that port. Wait, what? There you are. Where's the extra row of contacts on them? I'm blind? I'm not seeing them? Oh wait, yeah, they're no, I'm blind. They are USB 3. There. I'm an idiot. Sorry. Pay no attention to the man who needs sleep. These 5 contacts at the front here are the ones of note for USB 3. Yes, pay no attention. I could spray some contact cleaner in there. Got your power hours, will not boot. Check RTC and clock. Yeah, certainly check to see if you're getting your 32 kilohertz. Oh, this stuff is just gnarly. I hate using this contact cleaner. It smells bad. Icky. It does funny things also when you throw it into the caustic cleaning solution. It does not like it. Flux and boil could possibly work too, yes. I think I am at the end of my run. It's 2:30 in the morning, so yeah. Alright, Michael Carroll. So this is the other thing, is it leaves this entirely undesirable junk on the board. I think we're going to need a bigger tip. Pretty sure it's going to be these two here, which are the USB 2 ones. Because that pair there and that pair there, they are for the USB 3, which is that there. No, Miles, I completely agree. Realistically, a lot of this is for the people in the chat. It's for entertainment first. I mean, realistically, these days you should be just, as soon as you get one of these, swap the board out and change the serial number. Anonymous, I very rarely use that stuff. So I bought it for one task quite some time ago. Personally, I'm more of a fan of using the flux and boil technique. Oops. Hey Pedro, did you see I got a circular polarizer for my microscope now? So everything's a little bit dimmer, but hopefully a bit clearer. See, straight away it should be kicking up the signal. Alright, I think that's it. That's it for tonight. We tried. We did get it running. But, yeah, as often happens with a lot of these repairs, we resolve the primary issue, but then we're left with the secondary issue. And I find that a lot of business profitability and productivity goes completely to the crapper because of secondary issues like this. It's the sort of, because you're not expecting them. I mean, how can I put it? Yeah, really, they're just time wasters for the most part. And the trouble is, you've already invested your time into repairing the primary fault, and you're almost there, so you get suckered in a little too often to trying to resolve that secondary fault, and all too frequently it ends up just costing you money and time. But still keep chasing that rabbit. So anyway, I'm out of here. You all take care. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Until next time, catch you later.